Madam, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
You are ready, no? Okay, thank you so much.
First to Facebook.
Okay. So once you give a green signal, I start Shiv Prasad Reddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to connect YouTube and Facebook also. I think it will be ready.
Okay.
We'll be live. Sir, we are Facebook and YouTube live to the world.
Okay.
So, Prasad Reddy garu, good evening.
Sir, namaste.
And good evening, namaskar. Welcome to all the participants and our today's speaker, Dr. Chaitanya Sudha from Tamil Nadu, Professor Purushottam Reddy, Dr. Shiv Prasad Reddy, Murali Krishna from USA, Professor Shashikala from JNTU, and all others. Today we have the privilege and honor to have the lecture by Dr. Chaitanya Sudha, who did her, PhD in the water sector, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Chaitanya. Give me 2 minutes.
Good evening to all of you.
Yeah, good evening. Dr. M. Chaitanya Sudha completed her PhD from Center for Water Resources, Anna University, Chennai. She worked as an assistant professor in Department of Environmental Engineering, VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology. Vellore handling courses for MTech Energy and Environmental Engineering program and BTech Civil Engineering program. Her doctoral work is on urbanization impacts on social ecology of lakes in South Chennai city, India. The research program is funded project from the government of Netherlands. The doctoral work mainly focused on the ecological, social aspects of lakes in southern part of Chennai. She developed an index to assess the health of lakes, namely water bodies, protection index, which will be promising tool to the planners, policy makers, various organizations involved in the maintenance of the lakes. She has more than 10 years of research experience in the fields of water resource management, water quality assessment, wastewater treatment, pollution control and monitoring solid waste management. She is awardee of SAWA, South Asia Water Association Fellowship, and INAE Fellowship. She has published 4 book chapters in international book series, 4 in international journals, 5 in national journals, 5 in international conferences. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sudha, and I welcome Dr. Sudha to make the presentation. Dr. Sudha, what I advise and suggest you is feel free to explain entire indexing methodology so that it's very important, because I'm giving priority to your presentation because your indexing methodology will lead to sustainable index. Okay?
Yes,
so
sure.
That particular part deliberately I have postponed it to next week, so that the participants will have the full benefit of your presence and your presentation. I am making you the host now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
One second, I am making you the host. Yeah, we have Ravinder from APTRI.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to all.
and Mr. Raghuveer, IFS officer who promoted lakes in Hyderabad conservation, Krishnaveni Guru, and Madhulika Chaudhary. She's also working on lakes in Hyderabad, South Hyderabad, and Save Environment Club, the teachers of Telangana who are now consolidating themselves in the area of, is it MCS?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So I'm making you the host.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now you are the host. You can show the PowerPoint presentation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Open the PPT and link with the shared screen. Okay?
Yeah, but here in my window, I'm not getting me as the host. Maybe I think
You are already host, madam.
Okay. Should I share then?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay. No.
No.
One second. I think
Yeah.
Purushottam Reddy garu.
Yeah. I think
By mistake, you became the host. Please make me the host again. Go to my name, click, you find more.
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah.
You find at the cursor more. Okay?
1 second. ఏది మ్యూటా?
లేదన్న మ్యూట్ కాకుండా పక్కకి రైట్ లో మోర్ అని వస్తుంది MORE నా పేరు దగ్గర.
అవును, మ్యూట్ ఉంది.
మ్యూట్ పక్కన మోర్ ఉంటది కదా.
3 figures. స్టాప్ వీడియో, చాట్, పిన్, స్పాట్. మోర్ లేదే.
మోర్ లేకుండా ఎట్లుంటది అన్న?
Sir, to share the screen, you don't have to make her the host. You can share the screen herself by clicking the green top pointing arrow button.
Yeah.
You don't have to make
Okay,
her.
I have given the share button. Share the screen.
I think host disabled the participant screen sharing, so there must be
అన్న
some
మీరు
వస్తలేదన్నా.
పైన
just
ఉంటుంది చూడన్న.
మీరు కర్సర్ నొక్కండి. కర్సర్ రాగానే
Okay.
అది వస్తుంది, మోర్ వస్తుంది. నక్కంగానే మీకు అన్ని లిస్ట్ వస్తాయి కింద.
అవును.
అందులో మేక్ హోస్ట్ అని వస్తుంది చూడు. ఒక పని చేయండి, మీరు MCS దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళండి.
అదేంటి MCS అంటే?
ఆమె పేరు
చైతన్య గారు లిస్ట్.
యా, MCS. యా.
అక్కడ నొక్కండి, మోర్ వస్తుంది.
ఓకే.
వచ్చిందా?
దట్ మోర్ అనేది లేదు. మ్యూట్, స్టాప్. ఐఎమ్ రీడింగ్ అవుట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. మేక్ హోస్ట్ అన్నది.
మేక్ హోస్ట్ అదే క్లిక్ చేయండి. ఆమె
యా,
క్లిక్ చేయండి, మేక్ హోస్ట్.
చేసిన.
షీ ఈజ్ హోస్ట్ నౌ. మేడం, యు ఆర్ హోస్ట్ నౌ.
Yeah.
yes.
ఇవి రిహర్సల్ చేయాలి.
పురుషోత్తం అన్నది ఇప్పుడు వచ్చేసింది.
Hope my screen is
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, all. I'm Chaitanya Sudha. It's my pleasure to be here today and to give a talk on Water Bodies Protection Index. This is a part of research work carried out at Center for Water Resources, Anna University, Chennai. And this is a funded project from government of the Netherlands. This Water Bodies Protection Index has been formulated for more than 6 to 7 lakhs in the lakes in the southern parts of the Chennai city. Here I'm just giving an index how it will give you the differentiate between urban and rural lakes in the Chennai. So Chennai city is rapidly urbanized, and the urban sprawl is progressive towards the southern parts of the city. And city also have the conflicts in water access and its distribution and issues related to sanitation, public health, and it also have the problems of water transfer from the peri-urban areas, which again challenges the groundwater depletion and also raises the water market as one of the booming businesses in Chennai city. And on the other hand, we also witness booming of IT industries and related infrastructure development across the cities. So this process of urbanization have adverse impacts on the water resources. The two main indicators, population growth and the industrialization, are really crushing the water systems, and the effects are in terms of pollution, depletion of the water. We have either floods or the droughts or the spatial transformations of these water bodies. So pollution, we all know that it is from the industrial and domestic wastewater and the solid waste just on the banks of the water body. Almost all the water bodies in major cities are just exhibiting or being as a sinks for the waste storage, and therefore the contamination comes in picture, and it affects the entire ecosystem health. On the other hand, we have the groundwater depletion because over exploitation of the groundwater, and this is actually intimidating on either ways because we are spoiling the surface water and there is a huge amount of exploitation of groundwater. So this is most of contrary situation in the cities, and every city encounters floods because of high surface flow, and there is lack of infiltration systems and the recharge structures for the storm water. So this is highly lacking in the major cities at least. And the encroachment, this is a culprit I understood in this research work, is the encroachment. The spatial transformation of land use is really bothering, and especially the land of the water body is highly shrinking, and it reduces its storage capacity and therefore the high surface flow. So the floods and the encroachments really complement each other. Eventually all these have impact on the society. So in this transit of urbanization, the water bodies are really vulnerable. Thanks to universe that it doesn't have an opportunity to question us, the activities that we are doing to that systems, but their answers are really, frightening or terrifying. One such thing, what today we are encountering, is also one of the changes that we created in the natural systems. So it is important to assess their health, and it is important to ensure that these systems are maintained properly. Therefore, it serves the society in a better way. So the object of the study is to develop an index to protect the water bodies as simple. But to understand how to develop the index for these water bodies, we need a little more understanding about the social attitudes and perceptions towards the water body, how people are really connected to these common systems. Until we have any dependency towards any of the system, today humans are not connected to it. So what is the change in perception and attitudes towards these systems in the urban-rural context of the southern Chennai? And the ecosystem health has been examined using water quality, biological quality, and land use changes. So these are the two lakes have been considered for today's presentation, which is urban lake and rural lake. We could clearly see that the urban lake is highly green in color, and the eutrophication is highly evident, and we could see a lot of solid waste. And to this lake, in the research work, I could see there is a water outlet coming from the households directly to the tank, directly to the water body. There is no any treatment, and thanks to our treatment plants, because it just accumulate all the wastewater and simply dumps into the water body. Those two incidences have been witnessed by a research group of this particular work, and this is the rural lake. We could see that there is a slightly better environment of ecology and surroundings when we compare with the urban lake. So how are we going to study them? So we have impact of the lakes because of various processes of urbanization. So for which we need some kind of estimations how we are going to study the changes. So there are socio-cultural functions and ecological functions, and the land use analysis, which is playing a more important part. So the socio-cultural functions were mainly understand or studied with the help of field observations. It's been done every month once to the entire area, and we have conducted stakeholder meetings, and there were a lot of focus group discussions, questionnaires, and key informant interviews. While the ecological functions have been analyzed with the help of water quality, plankton community, and land use changes. Water quality, we know that there are 5 simple parameters that we could go with a simple probe to the water body, and will tell the snapshot like what is its health index. It's just simple like our diabetic check or a BP check. So for water quality, these 5 parameters will tell at least what is its system, whether it needs any further investigation or not. These onset parameters will help us. And it has also been analyzed the major ions, nutrients, which are all most important ones for any kind of water body, and organic pollution load. And from all these parameters, water quality index has been derived. And the plankton community mainly the study focused on the phytoplankton. Phytoplanktons are the simple lives, very small lives, which we really cannot see through our naked eye. Needs a very good microscope to see them, but they are the first indicator to give you any change in the water system. A simple change in the water body will be indicated by these small lives, and this has been derived from polymer pollution index. And land use analysis was also carried out mainly with the help of remote sensing images and using GIS as the software. So from these factors, from sociocultural functions, from ecological functions like water quality, plankton community, and land use changes, the water bodies protection index has been formulated. If we look at the land use classification of the study area, it is clearly evident that in urban area, the agricultural activity is completely zero from 1990s itself. While in a rural area, we could see that there is a small decline in the agricultural activity from 1997 to 2009. So that is indicating that the urban sprawl is slowly moving from peri-urban and to the rural areas. Also, the water bodies, the space of the water bodies is also decreasing steadily, and over here also, but here it is the decrease is a little insignificant, but there is a trend of decline in the water body also. Interestingly, the residential area has been increased drastically in the urban area, while in rural area, this is the most interesting fact, is that the residential area has increased very steadily, very steep. The increase is very steep in the rural area, meaning that there is a sprawl from settlements from urban to rural area, because in urban area the land or the space, or especially the migrants who are coming from different areas, could not find the space for their households, or be it any settlement or any kind of investments. So they are moving towards peri-urban and the rural areas. And the water spread area, this is very interesting fact, is that if we look at the urban area, the reduction in water spread area, which means the lake area, has reduced so much from 87 to 97. So if you see here, we have 89.9 hectare, it has been converted to 24 hectares. So there is a huge reduction, almost 73% of the water body has been reduced between 87 and 97, and there is a reduction in between 97 and 2009, but it is comparatively less. So which means the urban activities were very high during this period, and all the encroachments, anybody who is moving from different places, encroaching the land, especially during the summer, that's a very good the time where you could really encroach. This study has been carried out for a period of 2 years. So I could see, like, from first year to the second year, during the May month, there are a lot of huts have come up in the water body area, which has been identified, and it's also been questioned, and they're all the poor migrants who have come from different backdrops, and they are going for some kind of jobs for their livelihood option. So this encroachment is very high between 87 and 97. Whereas this is little less in 1997 to 2009. And if we look at here in the rural area, the reduction in water spread area is very insignificant between 87 to 97. It is 70, and here it is 69. But 97 to 2009, we could see that there is a decline in 11% of the water spread area, which means this is again an indication of a sprawl of the urbanization. So overall, we just have now 19% of the urban lake, and in the rural lake it is 87% at the during the work. And probably to become the rural lake as the urban lake is so far if we continue to do the same thing. So this is the image that would clearly tells us. So the red one indicates the 87, how much the water spread area, and the blue one is the present condition, or could be 2009. And if we look at present 2021, it will be much more lesser in urban area and in rural area as well. And it is also been analyzed for the entire area of the Chennai, southern parts of the Chennai. So this is we just taken the city limit at one side, and one side as the Bay of Bengal, and the other side as the rural boundary. So if we look at here, this is the Valacheri Lake, which we are talking about today in presentation, and this is the Agaramthen, which is a rural lake. And we could clearly see that there are a lot of water bodies present, and we have the green agricultural land over here, and the major urbanization is within the city limits. So this is the major city boundary, and this is the 1987. And if we look at here the 97, we could see that the Valacheri Lake has been completely, almost has become just a dot over here, and the red, the settlement area has, we could see the slowly coming towards the peri-urban and rural areas. So this is 2009. We could see that how much this sprawl has been occurred towards the southern parts, and how much has been reduced the number of water bodies within the probably period of 2 to 3 decades. So this clearly indicates that the attention towards these water bodies are really limited, but the water bodies needs to be maintained for various advantages. It really serves the human in a greater way. So these are all the major storage structures where we are facing the problem. And more interestingly, every monsoon, Chennai city used to complain about the flood. Unfortunately, this is the area where the entire settlement is, but this is the area of the lake. So water takes its own course. It won't wait, or it won't see that there is a house and it won't deviate from its own way. So everybody have settled over here and constructed lands, and when the water comes, naturally it will flood. So there is no any additional recharge structures, or there is no any additional or lakes or any kind of a storage space that has been given to capture the rainwater. It's obviously goes as the surface flow. And the water quality, there are so many parameters have been studied. The 17 critical parameters have been taken for the study. The most important on-site parameters: pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, total solids and the turbidity, and some of the major ions, and the nutrients, phosphates and the nitrates, and the organic load of COD and the BOD. So the urban area, if we see the water quality of the lake, we have the higher concentrations of total dissolved solids, higher concentrations of alkalinity, though it is slightly higher than the standards, but it is a higher end, and the very high concentrations of total phosphate and the nitrates. These total phosphates and nitrates made the lake completely eutrophicated. It is completely green color, and the BOD and COD are really high because all the settlements that is present in and around the lake are completely entering into all the wastewater is completely entering into the water body without any kind of treatment. And in the rural areas, we could see that there is a slightly better situation in the water quality. Still, there is a little higher percentage of BOD. This is mainly could be the fact that there is a practice of open defecation still in the rural parts of the area, so which means that could lead to the increase in the BOD value. And the water quality index has been estimated, and the Valacheri falls in the bad condition, and a rural area falls in the medium condition. And the seasonal changes is also important to understand how the water body is changing with respect to the seasons. And if we see in Chennai, it is southwest monsoon which is giving you a very bad water quality, is because that southwest monsoon is the one where it becomes the dry up from September till September, May to September. The water slowly starts get evaporated, and when the September comes, it's completely dried up. So probably because it's only the sewage and the very small quantity of the water. And in the northeast monsoon, again, due to rain, maybe the dilution occurs. So a slight improvement in the situation is seen over here in the data. And this is the biological quality. These are all the tiny life factors which is going to tell us the indicators of the pollution. The small lives, any small change will indicate, and their ability to indicate the pollution has been ranked by Palmer, and they have given ranks accordingly, and these ranks have been taken to find out what is the biological index score for the study lakes. So 33 shows that it's a highly organically polluted lake, and 18 shows that it is moderately organically polluted. This moderately organically polluted is again due to because of the feces and the human waste that enters into the water system could be the major factor. So these organisms have been identified and the ranks have been taken and the index score has been arrived to formulate the biological index. And this is the most interesting factor for me as well, because the technical education taught me how I have to analyze the water quality in the laboratory, or how I have to analyze any kind of systems in the laboratory research. I have never known or seen towards the real ground situation. This particular project gave me an opportunity to look at what is the social responsibility and what is the social attitudes, and how important it is when we are talking about or when we are addressing about some common system or something related to common good that's not for an individual entity. So this is the really a transboundary research which has been given a great experience in understanding how humans or the people interacted to the nature, and what is the differences between different parts of the system, different parts of the area. In the urban area, majority of the people have commented that there is no any need of the lake at all. There is no any surprise to get a reply from the people to convert the lake into either a multiplex or a community apartment, rather being a sink of the wastewater. So that was the information that we have obtained from the social analysis. And the people mostly are the migrants and busy with their laptops and their routine busy schedules. And there is no any thought why we are experiencing flood problem, or why is this important. There is no any thought for them, probably because there is no connectivity between people and the system. So we have the flood problems, and majority of them have been told, like in urban areas, there is a flood problem we are experiencing in comparatively to 1970s to 2010. So everybody have agreed upon that the flood problem has been increased, but none of them have been addressed or understood how the lake has playing a role, or what is the vital role for controlling the flood or managing the flood. In the rural areas also, they were saying that there is slight increase in the flood problem, and people were also expressing their views upon the surface water quality. And mostly they have given reasons like disposal of sewage and disposal of solid waste, open defecation, effluents from the industries, poor lake maintenance from the government authorities. And when we ask them, like, you are disposing your sewage into the lake, they don't have any answers, at least in the rural area who are educated. Whereas in urban area, in rural areas, scenario is slightly better. And the agricultural trend was also been analyzed. In urban area, as we have seen in land use pattern, there is absolutely zero agricultural activity. While in peri-urban areas, there is a agricultural activity exhibited in 1997, but this trend slowly declined, and it's almost became zero from 2007 onwards. While in a rural area, we could see that there is a fluctuations then and there, but at the end, there is a decline trend. So this was during the part of the study, and if we continue the data, probably this also will be a flattened curve, maybe by 2021. And fishing activity and cattle raising. This is one interesting factor learned from the research, is that in the urban area, almost for 50 years, there are 10 families who are mainly depending on the fishing activity during their during their young age. And those 40 families are still in that place, and they are still depending on the fishing in the same polluted lake. And among the 40, I have interviewed about 10 people. They are the only people who showed concern that this needs to be maintained. I am not getting more amount of fish. The weight of the fish is highly reduced. the number of varieties has been reduced, a lot of pollution have come up, we could not catch the fish. So they are the only people who have addressed, that needs some kind of improvement. So this have given a connectivity that if there is a bond existed between their livelihood and to this particular systems, then there is a concern from the people as well. And this fishing activity and cattle grazing was well seen in the rural area. This is actually the bund of the rural lake, and this is well seen, and the auction is given every year, and the amount that is given will be used for the development, and there is a recreational activity happening, like small boating activity in the rural area. So the economy is also playing a little important role in maintaining these water systems, is what the understanding from the social attitudes and the key informant interviews and the stakeholder meetings. And to develop this water bodies protection index, these 5 factors have been considered: water quality, biological quality. Mainly among the land use, only the water spread area has been considered. The community participation, their interest has been ranked, and the role of government organizations. In the rural area, there are about 10 women who have come up in the stakeholder meeting, and they spoke to the public works department officers saying that you create a group where we will look after the lake. So that was really interesting finding, and they are also questioning the government officers, like, why don't you create as a proper outlet for our agricultural activity? So the role of government organizations towards the maintaining of these lakes, or periodical monitoring, and any case of structural improvements need to be taken, or in any case of encroachments, if that needs to be removed, have to be removed. And that is also very important and vital in making this water bodies protection index. And for this role of government organizations, we have conducted interviews from different sectors, from planning authority, from public works department authority, and from the political leaders. Lot of questionnaire surveys have been conducted, and it is been ranked accordingly. So this is the water bodies protection index. This is actually inspired from the water poverty index from Suleiman et al. And this is simple aggregation of the factor weights. So these are all the factors that has been assessed through the research: water quality, biological diversity, water spread area, community role, and government institutions role are being estimated in the research work, and their weights have been analyzed with an expert committee. So the weight of the factor into rationalized weight of the factor is going to give us the water bodies protection index of all the 5 factors. So weight of the water quality multiplied by rational value of the water quality, and a simple aggregation of that for all the factors is going to give the water bodies protection index. So this index will tell us in a one single number whether the water body needs improvement. In case if it needs improvement, in what angle it needs improvement. Do we have to give attention to the water quality, or do we have to give attention to the water spread area, which means the storage structure, or any kind of a periodical monitoring from government institutions are essential? So which part is important, which part of the system needs to be corrected? This particular index will give and tell for the policymakers or for the authorities who are looking at or maintaining it, and will make maintaining the lake much easy. So the values has been kept, or to between 0 to 10 to rank whether the lake is in a good condition or whether in a poor condition. So greater than 9 has been given the water body systems are under sustainable condition. Less than 1 has been given the poor status. And this particular score will classify the lakes based upon their environmental status. If these 5 factors has been analyzed periodically or in a right way, and if this WBPI has been used, all the lakes can be ranked based upon their exact health status. For instance, how I have arrived at the rationalized value, because the rationalized value is from the research work, the weight is from the expert committee. So the rationalized value was arrived the water quality index has been calculated for the study lakes, and the rationalized has been derived by dividing the index value with the minimum score. So that is 100, the water quality index score. So from that minimum score, the Velachery Lake, this is the urban lake and this is the rural lake. We have been also estimated for many more lakes, but I'm just giving here the urban and the rural lake. So based on that, the rationalized factor value has been analyzed. Similarly, it has been analyzed for the biological diversity using the Palmer index and water spread area. If we consider the overall water spread area as 100%, how much it has been reduced and it has been rationalized accordingly. So all the 5 parameters from the research work has been rationalized according to the index values that has been derived. And the weights. So the estimation of factor weight has really become important and really critical in this particular situation, because which one needs to be given a higher weightage, either the water quality or the biological quality or the government institution's role, which needs to be given prioritized. So that was really critical, and we conducted a Delphi method wherein different experts from different sectors have been chosen, majorly from the government representatives, the Public Works Department, Pollution Control Board, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, and some civil service officers, political leaders, how their view and what is their understanding, academicians, environmental consultants, NGOs who are working strongly on water and environment, community associations, those who are working towards the lakes, and some of the journalists in the Chennai area have been chosen. And the 16 expert committee have been participated in this 2-stage process of the assessing the methods. So they have given the average weights for each factor. Every person have a different understanding and different valuing methodology. So we thought aggregating them will not give a good weighting factor. So we just thought averaging them will give a weighting factor. So that will give us at least a overall wholesome of the index in a better way. So again, we have made them to give the rank between 1 to 5, so that our index value will fall between 1 to 10, 0 to 10. So the mean weightage, the average weightage from the experts for different factors have been recorded. So these are all the factors, and majorly role of government institutions acquired the higher weightage factor among all the 5. So that means if there is an institutional role and institutional periodical assessment, monitoring, or to do what exactly to be done to protect these systems, would solve all above other elements in a good way. So these are all the weight factors that have been arrived from the expert committee. And the rationalized factors and the weight factors have been just aggregated, and the study lakes have been shown. So this is the single snapshot. So if we get all the weight factors and the rationalized factors, this will tell us this is an urban lake and this is a rural lake. So the urban lake is clearly indicating that there is a lack of institutional role and the government role. There is a very less community participation towards the lake, and water spread area has been reduced drastically. Biological diversity is also very poor, and water quality index is also poor. So, but if you look at here, at least these 3 have some kind of an number to make the water quality little better. But whereas the government role and the community participation is almost 0. Because the system has allowed to encroach entire water body, and there is no any sluice, there is no any inlet and outlet channels maintained, and there is no any pollution prevention techniques, in the sense the domestic wastewater completely entering into the system. Everybody know, we could see just if we go on the Bund side, everybody can see that there is a water entering from household or any kind of activities to the lake. There is no any prevention activity towards that aspect. But here in the rural area, it is clearly mentioning that the water quality is slightly better compared to urban area. Biological diversity is also good, and the water spread area is almost in an agreeable way, though there is a decline, and there is a good community participation. Those who are having intention towards protection of these systems, and the government role is also slightly there. This is because the agricultural activity happening over there, the fishing is given for auction, comes under the public works department and the allied government organizations, wherein they have to come and they have to monitor or talk to people over there. So that is important, and there is a slight involvement of government agencies over here, but still there is a lack. So maybe here, if we can improve the role of government or the other authorities over here, this lake can be maintained sustainably for some long period of time, provided if all these three are maintained like this at least or improved. So this particular water body protection index will give us a snapshot and tell us where is the lacuna and where we need to address in order to maintain or make it sustainable. So just giving this index will not help in understand, or will not help in making the policy makers to agree with my index. So there was a study in Center for Water Resources from Setu Karasi. It was on the urbanization index, which how much has been urbanized every particular village in the southern parts of the Chennai. So she developed one urbanization index, and this urbanization index and water bodies protection index has been correlated, and that has given the R square of 0.86, indicating whenever there is a higher amount of urbanization and your water body protection index is decreasing. So it is completely proportional, which means when you have a higher urbanization index, your WBPI is decreasing inversely, and when you have urbanization influences lesser in the rural area, we have water bodies protection index slightly better. So this is the validating information that can forefront that this water body protection index really help and analyze the health system in a proper way, and also tells us the right information where to address and how to make the water body more sustainable. And this particular water body provides, in case if it provides a lower value, and that is a wake-up call to all the people, could be the political leaders, could be to the government organizations, could be to the local people as well, to understand that there is some thing which we need to improve or which we need to address immediately. It's as simple as like if we have any small change in our health system, we go to doctor. So it is as simple as that. When our lake is having some problem, if this index can be used, and this will tell where is the problem and which needs to be addressed, so that we would make the lake more alive, more sustainable. So this particular water body index will really sensitize the policymakers and will help the decision makers to understand the water bodies issues in a more transparent way, and also help the local communities and government agencies to take remedial actions timely. That is also very important, because many water bodies in Chennai city has now simply the multiplexes. The data that has been taken from the Public Works Department for the southern parts of the Chennai city shows that there are about 75 lakes on ground, and I have visited all the 75 areas, and there are no 75 lakes. It is just about 30 to 35 when I did it in 2008. And today I really do not know whether that has been still gone down or, So the data also, we have lot of lacuna, the right information, in the sense probably there has been a old data. It was there once upon a time, and those lakes were completely encroached or converted to different developmental activities, institutional activities. There is no surprise that we could see some of the government initiatives also falls in this encroachable areas. Maybe we need to really sensitize and look at the activity, because these water bodies are the most important elements, at least for urban sector. Without them, the life will be really difficult, and without their storage structures, life will be very difficult in upcoming years. And we calculated the water potential capacity of the Chennai city. So we have the storage structures of 30%, and 70% of water that is coming from the monsoons are simply letting out just because that we don't have the storage structures. And if we would have maintained these storage structures as it is, at least this 30 would have reached to 60% of the storage capacity. So we have reduced in turn, and the problems or whatever the nature is giving back to us is really terrifying. And every year we are experiencing the problem, and every year we are seeing it. Every year we get the flood, every year we have the surface flow, and the next year we have some of the conversations goes in the news, and many people will talk, debate, and the next year again we have the same flood issues. So why is it so is the question that I ask myself, and I ask so many of my colleagues. I know that there are a lot of experts today in this presentation, and probably we have to take some kind of an initiative wherein we protect them. If possible, we improve them. If possible, we increase them. Increase by number, increase by storage structures. So wonderful service to the human. It gives us good ecosystem. It gives us good economy. The economics involved in these water bodies are really huge if we understand in a more better way. Many people doesn't know what is the economical benefits that we get out of it, and it has a lot of socio-cultural functions also. So we are missing everything, and at the cost of simply building up or just concretizing our area. And it is important, at least now, to come up and improve further. Thank you.
Hello.
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 Could you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Subbarao garu.
Hello.
Sir, అయిపోయింది.
Hello.
Yeah, you have to take it back, Subbarao garu.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Dr. Sudha, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. And please go to my name.
Yeah.
And at the cursor you find more. You make me the host. Okay.
Yes.
It's a wonderful opportunity to hear from you on the Lake Health Index. And I now open the debate for the open house, and people can hello. Still you are the host, Dr. Sudha.
One second, sir. I'm just making it.
Go to my name. My name is on the top.
Yeah. Hope you got it.
Yeah, he's the host now.
Okay. Thank you so much. And okay. Yeah, now you can also
Stop sharing.
minimize the PowerPoint presentation. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it.
Or disconnect. And welcome, Dr. Jagannath Garu.
Sir, thank you, Subbarao garu, Dr.
And now I open the
Sudha
I
madam.
open for the discussions, and those who want to raise any questions and all, please either you can mark hand symbol on it, or you can talk. Okay. And most important thing I would like to ask to begin with Dr. Ravinder from EPTRI. Dr. Ravinder.
Sir, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Ravinder Garu,
Sir,
MOEF came out with a categorization of the lakes.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I found that in this research, it has not been referred.
Okay.
It also, goes, almost falls in the same line, similar lines.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But where their MVF has not taken the biological indicators.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dr. Sudha, did you got the opportunity to look into the lake restoration manual of the MOEF?
Yes, yes. Actually, we have looked at the
sir, it's a resound.
MOEF manual.
Sir, it's a resound. I think she has to close down her PowerPoint presentation
Yeah,
first.
please close your PowerPoint presentation, Dr. Sudha.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
now she can speak.
We have looked at the MOEF lake manual. The fact that we wanted to look at this water body protection index is that in the manual it has been given various aspects of water quality and various aspects of the indicator pollutants, but the number at which we could arrive for a lake based on various factors is somehow missing. Mainly when we look at the interactions between the water quality and biological quality, so there is a significant change, or there is a significant relationship among these two. There is a small change in water quality, there is a small change in the biological activity also. So these interactions and how these interactions have influence on the lake health has been analyzed in this particular research. So that has been majorly focused along with the social issues and the political issues and the spatial planning. If we combine as the entire system as a whole, so I think that will give you a better understanding of the health index.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, that can be discussed at a personal level, that research angle. But thanks for your clarification on this. So another point which I was pleased from the participant, Raghuveer Garu, are you there? Raghuveer.
Sir, just I want to add something, sir.
Ravindra.
Subbarao garu.
Please, sir. Please.
Yes, sir.
Ravindra.
Yes, sir. Actually, this preparation of this index, water quality index, already came up in the 2016 and 17 in CPCB. But what happened, general consensus could not occur because different persons will have different conceptions. But actually, this madam, what you are suggesting is okay. This seems to be slightly somewhat comprehensive, where we are covering all the biological index and other things. But otherwise, we have. I was from Telangana Pollution Control Board. I have attended that meeting. So after 2-3 meetings also, there is a general consensus could not taken place because somebody suggested biological, somebody suggested water quality, and different index which weighing factors cannot be given.
Yes.
Which parameter you have to take it? Sometimes organic, sometimes inorganic, like that. So still because of that, MOEF could not finalize except water quality parameter. They have some action plan is limited actually. But your presentation seems to be okay. We have to try with some of other lakes also. In Hyderabad also we could have tried. Subbarao garu, we can discuss with some other this lake persons.
Yeah, one thing, you see,
Sir.
this is the first time.
Yes.
I congratulate Dr. Subha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, exactly.
Had this research been from a biologist, I think
Exactly.
everybody would have dumped the research document into the dust.
Yes.
It is an engineer
Yes.
who tried to make a combination of biology and engineering paradigm,
Yes.
technical paradigm. This is what we were asking last 22 years.
Exactly.
Okay? And
Yes.
if you remember, the lake which, generates a lot of foam, you and me went there,
Yes.
where the water hyacinth is dominated by another weed, if you remember.
Yes.
Okay? So,
Yes.
lot of things, I congratulate once again that, bringing the engineering and biological parameters will give.
Exactly, will
Because
appreciate.
water is a life entity.
Yes.
It's not sterile. Okay, so before I give my comments on this, I request Dr. Inayatullah is there. He is the Director, Water Institute, Bangalore University, and Water Resources Department. Dr. Inayatullah,
Hello, sir.
please, sir.
Yeah,
Please, sir.
good evening to good everybody.
Yeah.
I have just entered, sir. I have not seen the presentation, but I congratulate ma'am,
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sudha, madam. But since I am not in a position to comment because
No.
but health index is we also done, our students also done because I was a coordinator PMC for lake regeneration for Jakkur, Rachanalli and this Venkateshpura lake and 10 more lakes of Bangalore Development Authority we did. And at present also I am an advisor also. So our students did PhD completed in these lake regeneration water balance studies and health index, quality index and all these indices they have prepared, but it is debatable. So and the biological index also very, very important. We have to include. Nowadays it is integrated approach, interdisciplinary. All the things has to bring to one platform, which our Subbarao sir is, Subbarao Garu is trying to bring everyone into this platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Inayatullah. And now I request Dr. Shashikala, professor in microbiology, JNT. Dr. Shashikala.
Thank you. Yes,
I'm looking forward for your comments on microbiology.
Good evening, sir. Yes, it was a good presentation. Though I'm not an expert on water quality or anything like that, I'm a microbiologist. I work on bacterial diversity and taxonomy. But this, as Dr. Ravindra was telling, it is comprehensive, taking care of different parameters, including biological. But biological was restricted to, I think, phytoplankton.
Yes.
And probably adding some bacterial parameters and also other organisms will make it more comprehensive. And it was really one take home was that the techies are not bothered about the lake at all. So I really find it surprising because environmental science is a part of their studies from the childhood, and BTech also. Every degree course has environmental studies as a component, and all that studies have not made the importance of lake known to our. They could not appreciate the importance of lakes for ecosystem health and all those things. So that is really surprising for me. Unless attitudes and things, we cannot think about protecting things. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shashikala. I see Dr. Inayatullah raising the hand. Sir, do you want to ask any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, everyone is discussing about lake, water body, but most important is the inlets and these stormwater drainages. These all these treatment, if you do along the stormwater drainage, which the size is also very big, and it is most of the cities, urban areas, these stormwater becomes a sewers, almost sewerage. So these health indexes and all these what is that new approaches along with silt traps, we have to study at the scale of inlets or before inlet in the stormwater drainage itself. What we are doing is bringing to all the water to lake, and there we are starting doing all these studies. So that is what I want to tell ma'am, Sudha, madam,
Yes.
to concentrate on the stormwater and bring to that scale what to be done. Wetland
Dr.
management.
Sudha, she wants
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Wetland management, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sir, during this study, when we do the land use analysis, the lakes actually it is called the cascade of the lakes because the upper lake will give water to the lower one. So the inlet and outlet channels are completely not existing at all on ground. The Velachery, the urban lake in the presentation today, it doesn't have any kind of inlet source which was existing about 30-40 years before. Today when we went in 2010 on ground, there is no any kind of inlet channel at all. It is just like a pond, but all the inlets have been completely occupied, encroached with the huts firstly, and secondly the outlet channels were there, and those outlet channels, if we see, they have just made one kind of a concrete block or a wooden block, and above that they have managed to build some kind of a small hotels or tea shops. So these were the real ground conditions. Actually, in this water body protection index, the future scope I have suggested, and if I get an opportunity to work with some institute, I would like to expand this by giving the ranking to the infrastructure of the lake system, whether the lake is having any inlet channel that is bringing water from the upstream area, and the outlet channel that is taking water to the downstream lakes, and the sluices are maintained properly, whether the agricultural water supply through sluices, how much they are having the channels. Those things, if we could consider into the index, this will be much more realistic value that would give us, how exactly or where exactly we need to monitor.
Thank you, Dr. Sudha. Actually, this point is very valid, and this year I had the opportunity of guiding a student from Bhopal University. Particularly, each research will open up further, identifies the areas for further research. And what I looked at is, how about indexing the catchment areas?
Yes.
Okay?
But Sudha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, catchment areas indexing has a direct impact on the lake itself. So this is evolving, and next week I will be making presentation on this. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Naitila. And Mr. Balaswamy, who is a field worker and a strong volunteer of Save the Lakes in Hyderabad. Balaswamy Garu, you would like to ask anything?
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ ఎవ్రీబడి.
Tell me, sir.
సార్, ఈ లేక్స్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ గురించి మనం ప్రతి ఒక్కరు, ఎందుకంటే ఈ సోషల్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ తీసుకొని ఎవరి పర్సన్ తీసుకుంటేనే దీన్ని మనం ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయగలుగుతాము. ఒకటి ఏంటంటే సార్, ఇప్పుడు లేక్ ఎప్పటి నుండో అవి సర్వే చేసి లేక్ ఏరియా ఇంత ఉంది 41 acres అనుకోండి, ఆ 41 acres అనేది మొత్తం సర్వే చేయాలి, చేసి ఫెన్సింగ్ ఇవ్వాలి. అయితే ఈరోజు ఏమవుతుందంటే గవర్నమెంట్ వారు కన్సల్టెన్సీకి ఇచ్చేసి వాళ్ళతోన లేక్ సర్వే చేయించుకొని అది 20 ఎకరాలు, 15 ఎకరాలు, 41 ఎకరా ఉన్నది 21 ఎకరా ఎట్లా అవుతుంది? దానికి ఒక పద్ధతి పాడు అనేది ఏం లేదా సార్? ఇప్పుడు ఒకటి స్టాండర్డ్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి.
ఒక్క నిమిషం, బాలస్వామి గారు, I would like to translate this to Dr. Sudha in English. Dr. Sudha, his concern is on the lake boundary.
Right.
You see, lake boundary has legal, sanctity. Yes.
Yes.
I was discussing with Mr. Vidyasagar, Dr. Inayatullah, you may be knowing him. He was the chief lake development authority in Karnataka. Inayatullah?
Sir, yes, sir.
I was discussing on the lake boundary issues with Vidyasagar, who was the chief, and he's an IFS officer. I was talking. To my surprise, way back in 1987, the Karnataka authority handed over the lakes to Forest Department to fix the boundaries. Accordingly, majority of the lakes got fenced during that period.
Sir, what we had done also, we took the village maps, overlapped with these village maps, and all the encroachments is first removed, and we did the fencing. And,
Yeah, that
and
is
we
true.
restore the cascade system
Yeah.
of all these lakes, water bodies. But the problem again, what is coming up is there are many stakeholders like BBMP and BDA and other. What happens? Suddenly the area changes. You see, I was there in the BBMP of what is that? Stormwater drainage. They had done a very good design, the consultant, but for middle region of the stretch, upstream they have not done anything. Downstream they have not done. The reason is they have not tendered. This is the problem.
One thing, Dr.
This is, so there is what is the integration problem? Technology problem is not there. All technology, everything is there. We are not coming together, and we are not making transparency, and we are not discussing to. That is why PPP model has to come, and all of us has to be discussed. That is
Yes, sir.
what that
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. But the most important thing which I will be highlighting, which I worked with CAG, Controller Auditor General, is the authentication of the lake boundary by the revenue department. That is important. You and me, even if we do, that doesn't carry any legal standing. So this, I have postponed it to the next week. We will discuss on it. And now I invite Dr. AVN Swami. Balaswami garu, anything else? I will come back, please.
Oh, okay, sir.
Dr. AVN Swami, who is a biotechnologist, he also raised the hand. AVN Swami garu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Please, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, I like your presentation, sir. I want to just appreciate your great efforts towards lakes and its reclamation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have another gentleman, Murali Krishna garu from USA. He is almost 82 years old. He shifted just 2 years back to USA. Till he protected a lake at his neighborhood. I would like Murali Krishna garu to share his experience. RK Puram Lake, Mundikunta, Mukkidikunta. Murali Krishna garu. Murali Krishna garu, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Your efforts to protect and conserve the Mukkidi Channel.
Yeah. Just one small correction. I am not 82, sir. I am 70.
70? Oh, I thought, okay, maybe you were physical.
I may look like 80.
Okay. No problem, sir. More the seniority, more subsidies we are getting.
Yeah. True, very true.
Right.
Dr. Sudha, one thing, what you have done is a methodology for measurement. And measurement is helpful if we can. There was one professor, Govardhan Reddy in Usmania University. He consulted Satyam Computers in the days gone by. He came up with the numeric management. What you can't measure, you can't manage. So you have come out with a measure, which of course can always be improved upon. Everything in this universe can be improved upon. But as a starting point and as a measure, it's a good work, I congratulate you on that for coming out with the measurement. But one point, when a person is suffering from fever, we need a thermometer if that temperature is not perceptible by touching his hand or anything. 99 degrees, 99.5, we need a thermometer. But if the person is suffering at 103, 104 degrees, very high fever, we don't need a thermometer.
True.
We can definitely take him to a doctor. Right now, the situation of the lakes, not just lakes, rivers.
True, sir.
Okay, rivers and lakes and any water body is not in the range of 99 degrees, this way, that way, 0.5 degree. We don't need measurement. It is already 104, 105, nearly dereliction stage. Our water bodies have gone into dereliction. And when we are all talking about protection, there must be an adversary from whom we need to protect. There may be many adversaries, of course, which is one single body of adversaries from whom we have to fight and protect our things. Protection needs an adversary. Somebody is attacking, there is an aggressor. And who is that aggressor? And you know, that aggressor, we say government. Government means multiple departments: revenue department, water department, sewerage department, this department, that department, consultants. But all the above all of these people are the politicians. And every department there is a politician, undereducated, wrongly educated, or managed educated guy is there. And all the people whom we are say that our water should be protected, we go and vote those people. You know, Winston Churchill said that politics is the last resort of the scoundrels. And Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, in one of his speeches, said in one university convocation speech, he said, all of you must try to enter politics, because if you don't enter politics, uneducated, undereducated, managed educated people will come, scoundrels will come into the politics and they will rule. And the citizens have to protect themselves against government in all walks of life. Water is the primary. Is our air good? I am sure one day you or some of your students will start measuring the air quality. Air quality indexes are almost coming in newspapers almost every day. In many newspapers I have seen what is the air quality. If water, okay, you will filter and drink. They will be
Thank you, Murali Krishna Garu. We have some more people and
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And
right, sir.
I see Rajashri. Rajashri, please introduce yourself. Would you like to share anything? Rajashri. 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 No. Okay. Thank you. So you have. And Narayan Reddy Garu, the industrialist, pharma industry. Anything you would like to share, sir? Okay.
Good evening, everybody, and I think it's a wonderful lecture today. I could listen lakes management, etc. But the thing is that the main problem subject is known, and this problems are all already identified, and but there is no body taking care, that neither government nor the public, because this water is the as an important element for the human life, but people are simply not bothered how to protect. What about tomorrow? Where to live? How to live? You see this the 111 GO. Court has given the order that there should not be any activities in the catchment area, but people trying to remove that.
Yes, sir. We will have a separate discussions on GO.
For such type of thing, the society should come forward, and society should understand the difficulty and the problem, and then only we can find a solution for all these things. The subject is, there are good scientific explanations, scientific approaches, and technical solutions are there. But unfortunately, we are not able to. People who knows the subject are not able to do, because to do the things we don't. Our capacity is not sufficient. This is the major problem with us.
We need people like you to support these scientists.
I am an individual. How much I always like this to do something from on my own. On my own, I like to do this something on my own. I have done in my activities.
Yes, sir.
Drainage water and treating and using for my factory.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have an young lady, Madhulika. And Madhulika, are you there?
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, sir.
Madhulika, can you switch on your video?
Okay.
Yeah. You want to share anything?
Yeah, sir. I mean, this is actually very good presentation, and I'm really after so many days, I've listened from somebody who has done a very good analysis on the particular lakes. And apart from that, 2 points what she has mentioned, I really want to discuss here. One is the migrating population. Migrating population is the biggest problem which I'm finding here in the Hyderabad lakes when I'm working, and the people are not at all concerned because they're not attached to, right? They're I mean, from the birth or the childhood, they have not seen the lakes. So migratory population is not at all interested. One thing is this. Secondly, sir, I really want who don't know the problems at the lake is it is all the community-oriented problems. Whatever the encroachers which are coming at the lake are from the community only. The community know, the sarpanch know which one is the government land, which one is need to be encroached, which one is what was its earlier situation. So I have seen the community is the best way, which are actually encroaching and helping others to encroach the lake only.
Yes.
Where the other migratory population, they are not at all interested. So these few things, these are the few things I'm continuously observing, that we actually keep on objecting to many people, but actually why the government is not able to achieve is also that the community has a very strong role to kill the lake or to save the lake.
Yes.
So these are the things which need to be answered. Water hyacinth, I'm actually very love it. Water hyacinth particular plant has a very, and I've done a lot of discussion with the Ravindra sir also, that if the lake has water hyacinth, that means the pH of that particular lake will be 7 to 9. Between 7 to 9, the lake will not be acidic. I mean, it will be perfectly in the neutral. So the water can be, sir, suppose earlier the lakes were used for the farming and fishing, but now we are not using it. So that's the reason there is no vested interest apart from encroachment. So if we start using them again for a purposes, it is possible that maybe the people find it more interesting rather than just garbage food. These are my few things.
Actually, we missed you. Yesterday, we had a very good discussion on water hyacinth and value addition products, and we are planning to conduct it series so that people like you who are working at the ground level can take the benefit of them. Instead of, government is just cleaning and dumping it into the land. So I appreciate, and we keep in touch, and we will also find some way to index your lake also. Okay, sure. Which we discussed in last 3 years, when I was in ASCII. Thank you so much. And now, with this, I have few, I request Professor Purushottam Reddy to, give his comments, and then Dr. Jagannath Garu from Mysore.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I would like to compliment Dr. Chaitanya Sudha. This is one of the finest papers written, and I made a very bold attempt at evaluating or enumerating the water bodies. However, I wish to add a few more because, as already pointed out by several other speakers, knowledge keeps on improving. So I wish to highlight one, the book by the book by name Design with Nature by McHugh. I'm sure you must have seen it. McHugh, Design with Nature. Actually the government of Tamil Nadu and every state government in this country, including the government of India, should take into consideration and completely plan for the entire country, complete land use pattern for the country. Otherwise, what we are looking at is just symptomatic, we are only looking at today's problems. But why this thing happened? So it is better we start now because tomorrow may be too late. That is, having said that, I wish to just, as a political scientist, I am more interested in creating public opinion, bringing about public pressure, and compelling the political parties or pushing them into action. So I'm also aware, like in Hyderabad, in Chennai, there would be civil society groups who may have approached the High Court there or NGT.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would be a lot of cases, and I'm also sure that there would have been a lot of judgments. Now, what is the compliance day? What is to what extent Tamil Nadu government sincerely implements the court orders? The rate of compliance in Hyderabad is horrible. The other day we had a news item, more than 290 contempt cases against the Chief Secretary, who represents the state of Telangana. And valuable public money is being, allotted in order to protect the Chief Secretary for having not obeyed the court orders. So, what is the situation there? That is one thing. Secondly, now you rightly pointed out your paper is one of the finest. I take it as a big milestone. Now, what is important is you should be very clear and specific when it comes to studying the impact, environmental implications of the virtual evaporation of these or withering away of the lakes in Chennai. What is the its impact on the urban environment? That is one. Then similarly on climate change, what exactly is happening there? How climate change is influencing? So maybe you have done it, but you can be more focusing on that. These vanishing lakes, you did refer to the increasing urban flooding. And recently, not recently, about a decade ago, not decade, about 5 years ago, the NDMA had given guidelines with regards to urban flooding, and I'm sure you would have taken note of it. My last submission is, because only our friend pointed out, he mentioned about politics. Politics, from my angle, I consider it as the noblest profession. Unfortunately, politics by itself is not dirty, but dirty people have entered politics, and that's the reason we have the present crisis. So, as a young researcher, I compliment, because I am also from the university, I know how difficult it is to do research. You did a commendable work, but the knowledge seeking doesn't end. So we go on with new reports coming globally. We need to integrate, and ultimately we have to protect. All knowledge should result in the protection of water bodies in this case.
True, sir.
So how do you think your reports, your research will ultimately empower the courts to come out even more emphatically, and also how to push the civil society? What is the situation in Tamil Nadu? Just in most of the states in this country, there is a lot of hero worship of the politician. What is the status there? Are the people slowly graduating to become responsible citizens? Do they understand that protection of environment is fundamental duty? So, along with Subbarao-ji, I would request you to attend our weekly meetings because you can be adding to the discussion.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srinath Garu.
Sir, I am here. I just want to share some of my observations.
Please, sir.
Dr. H. Chaitanya Sudha, madam, my compliments to you.
Thank you, sir.
It's a very good work. I will take only 1 minute. Kindly link your work to ILEC, International Lake Environment Committee. International Lake Environment Committee. For the past 7 decades, they are working on it. It's a UNEP hub, International Lake Environment Committee. Kindly link it to it. There is a comprehensive quality parameters. I must thank here Subbarao Garu sir, because of his motivation, now I am coming out with an integrated water quality monitoring system, which looks into geospatial, even synthetic aperture remote sensing to biological monitoring, where you have diatoms, chlorococcus, desmids, and all these things, incidentally, my better half contributed an article to Down to Earth, the State of Environment report this year. You can see that also, biological monitoring of water bodies. So the second point I would like to tell, you said 75 lakes at Chennai, they have reached 30 plus. When Sushmita Sen at the CSE, Center for Science and Environment, Down to Earth group, she joined us when my guide, Professor M.I. sir, Inayatullah sir, and all of us did one People's Vision on Lakes at Mysore, September 14 to 16th we did, where His Highness Princess Yadavi and our Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, they came and inaugurated, 16 papers were presented. What is interesting to this today's meeting is the District Legal Service Authority had filed a case against lake encroachment in Mysore district. Look at that. See, District Legal Service Authority filing a case. The government is filing a case against government or private interests of encroachment. This development you have to see seriously. And the last point I would like to tell you is this. See, I retired from ISRO 32.5 years. Clearly, I am so much committed to lakes. My mother's dead body was taken by a bamboo, picked out from a lake body. And we were going for defecation there when our village did not had public service system. You see, people association with lake is always there. The best message is harmonizing human life with water. What I am doing, this COVID time, I have started washing my utensils. 30% of water can be saved at home kitchen. And at Belandur Lake, everybody is making halakula. But nobody is talking that detergent should not be used in washing machine. See, we are not having a simple approach of walking on the roads. You want to make a mountain, then a tunnel. This is stupidity, I think. I'm a scientist, I'm a popular science activist also. You cannot get a mango fruit by planting a neem tree.
True.
So, all of us, for example, we are here, n number of people here. Can we modify our life? Can we become role models in water conservation? At my home, I am having a wetland which is giving a wonderful banana fruit. You see? And I am having a kitchen biogas plant. What is this I am doing? I am doing at my level water and energy conservation. People will not believe you. Yes, we don't practice.
True, sir.
So that's why I want to compliment you for a wonderful, there is one work done by one Professor Osmani, he's no more, but he was first person, according to me, who took the International Lake Environment Committee and all the water quality, indicators. And, I must also share with you, kindly visit this ILEC website.
Definitely, sir.
Since 95, myself, my wife, we went to Japan 95 and recently 2018 also. There's a deluge of information, technical information, guidelines, but we are not bothered. As other day, our Subbarao Garu was telling me, one ex hijacks ILEC in India and he gets a good position. This is a wonderful heritage we have today. So please don't believe my word, or you find ascertain yourself whether it's the validity, veracity, because these are all good people talking. I'm a pensioner now, I'm having full life covered medically, and I'm not going to bother. So when you have an element of, see, one Swamiji in Karnataka, one Vishweshwara Tirtha Swamiji, what he said? Cancer can be cured, but not Dhanapisach. See, this is the part of life today. And you see, I'm parallelly attending one more webinar on Jain University and corruption. And people are telling students should be educated. So, students are coming with 12,000 rupees annual income certificate to get admission. You know the students corrupt, then ask them to fight against corruption. What is this? See, in a hypocritic world, we have to be role models for others.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jagannath Garu.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful contribution and role models.
My last sentence would
yes, sir, please. We need to come together, and there's a long way to go.
1 minute.
Yeah, please, sir.
1 minute, sir. We shall go with vision that lakes are the eyes of earth. Sir Henry David Thoreau said. That should be our vision, and our lifestyle should be role models for others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jagannath. And you see, it's a wonderful message, both Professor Purushottam Reddy and Dr. Jagannath. And I would like to share some of my views on your presentation, Dr. Sudha.
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing, and I congratulate from the bottom of my heart that being an engineer, you could bring out the importance of bioindicators.
I'm from science, sir. Science.
And I am as an applied geologist, I brought bioindicators in 1975
Okay.
to identify the mineral species.
Okay.
Okay. And today I am using those plant species to control the pollution.
Right.
So bioindicators somehow, I have my own, reservations on engineering domains. That there is always, unfortunately, engineering versus biology.
True, sir. I agree.
No, it must be mellowed down.
Yeah, true.
We should understand each other's. Otherwise, otherwise we cannot improve the quality of life. We cannot improve the quality of environment. That is most important. And some of the points which I identify, which leads to further research, is 50% of the biological life is dependent on the littoral zone of the lake.
True.
Today, all the littoral zones are heavily encroached.
Yeah.
So all the amphibians, they come onto the littoral zone during the summer for hatching. Okay? So today you don't find the frogs, you don't find the tortoise, you don't find any amphibian life in the water.
True.
So we need to look into the littoral zone. And second aspect is, you emphasized on the water spread area. I always emphasize on the storage capacity of the lakes.
True, sir.
Okay? And health indication, impact of the bad lake, immediate effect on the surrounding communities on the health aspects. You rightly pointed out the economics part of it. That has a direct bearing on the loss of rainwater storage of the lakes.
True.
So we have enough leads from your research, and I request you to join for the next week's presentation,
Definitely.
which I will be sharing on sustainable indicators and sustainable auditing of the lakes.
Okay.
So briefly, and thank you so much. I thank all the participants. Now I invite my friend Dr. Shiv Prasad, who always supports us in this endeavor. Anything, Purushottam Reddy garu, you would like to say?
Yeah, please conclude, Shiv Prasad.
No, I'm Shiv Prasad. Okay, Shiv Prasad.
Yeah, echoing my master's voice in appreciating today's guest presentation, I would just love to add only 2 points. One is this will be retelecasted on Environment People channel tomorrow at 11 a.m. Do subscribe and do watch it. The other aspect is we need to sensitize the commoners. This I have been regularly pointing it out. What were the lakes full tank level, FTL we call, how they have been encroached and how bad it is after encroachment. I mean, what are the disadvantages if a lake vanishes? In city we say flooding and all, we have seen Hyderabad, Chennai, Bengaluru, I need not. At the same time, the economics which Subbarao Garu has been working on it since a long time. If they are these need-based, if a commoner understands the ecological sense, the economics, and the best part is the environment with which, the friendly environment with which we survive if a lake is allowed to just survive like that without any encroachment, stagnations, catchment areas being occupied, and all the dirt or whatever you call sewage or the leakages from the industries if that can be made in a commoner's language, believe me, and your presentation after a long time, I could understand word by word. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
Subbarao.
so much.
So thank you so much. Good night, Shubhratri.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank
have
you.
a sound
Thank
sleep.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Thank you. Thank you.